Hello, this is the RPG Crawler, and welcome to my channel update for February 2016. Now, there's been a couple things going on with the channel. First, I would like to extend my appreciation to each and every one of my viewers, whether subscriber or not. I've seen quite a bit of growth this, well, not an exponential amount of growth, but a decent amount of growth the past couple months, and I am very pleased with the trajectory of the channel. Of course, it's got its ups and downs, as every channel does, but hey, at least I'm not losing subs like the Fine Brothers, right? Well, they're still in a negative trajectory. That is something, man. I would have thought that it would have petered out by now. I mean, it's slowed down, but holy hell, they are still in the negatives. Anyway, yeah. See, well, fuck, I got completely sidetracked. Oh yeah, I've been trying to get the the content up to sustain that viewership, and I've got ideas going forward for some even more. Those of you who may have been following me have noticed that my Indie Game Friday, which I said was only going to become a solid thing after, say, late February, early March, I've been doing that every week without, well, almost every week without a problem. That's been going pretty good. We are in the midst of Dungeon Crawler Month. I've got 3 more Dungeon Crawlers I want to cover, and 3 more weeks to do them in. So that is good. Then I've got a couple more that I want to do after that in terms of indie games. And that I've already got queued up well into the next month, so that should be good. Those of you who have been sticking around may have noticed my Indie Quick section, and that stems from the fact that I've been getting a lot of random indie games. I've been getting a lot of random indie games that I've either been given to cover or that I actually want to cover. And I had put 1 or 2 on my official Indie Game Friday list, and I realized I want to reserve Indie Game Friday to just role-playing games, because that's what this channel is about, really, role-playing games. But it doesn't hurt, to kick in every once in a while with something fun. So I've been covering the Indie Quicks as I have time, and I will throw them up, not on any schedule, just as I have time. And to be honest, I should have been filling my schedule up with a few more of them in the past few days, because some people may have noticed I've dropped down to 1 video a day, which is going to be okay for not filling up people's subscription levels or for their subscription feeds. But I've been wanting to stick to that 2 videos a day. And I know it seems that every single time I do an update, not every single time, but most of these updates when I say, oh, I've only been doing 1 video a day, it's because I've been busy. This time I've actually had time. I've had a lot of time on my hands lately, because the whole problem hasn't stemmed from my schedule, but from my fucking internet provider. Yeah, starting on roughly the 3rd of this month and extending all the way up until like 2 days ago, my entire internet has been fucked. It's been spending like, I hate to put it that way, and I hate to use that terminology and words, but there's no other way to describe it. Xfinity had just randomly started dropping me for hours upon hours each day, and even when I was connected, I was hitting there like 75% packet loss. I had somebody come in, I had text over here twice to take a look at the line and sort out a bunch of stuff. I had to replace my internal network completely. Didn't help. I replaced my modem, and it helped. And it helped for like a day. And then my security system, which I also have through Xfinity, that's one of those package deals, that started fucking up and then just cascading through. So yeah, it has been hell and a half. But I got it all straightened out like 2 days ago. And hopefully going on here, I'll have solid internet access. Now, what did bad internet access mean? Yeah, I can record. Generally speaking, I do record like an entire week's worth of videos over the weekend, and then kind of meet them out over the week. And it takes me literally all weekend to do it, because it's not like playing some games where you play for a couple hours and then you've got like an entire week's worth of video. When you're playing a long form RPG, every half hour of content, I've been trying to get around half-hour episodes, takes about 45 minutes to an hour to record. More if you're unlucky. Let's say if you encounter a lich or something. Not that I'm bitter about that. That lich was cool. I got that done. But yeah, say I have to record the same battle like 4 or 5 times to get it right. Then, that takes time. All of that takes time. So generally speaking, I record my stuff offline on the weekends. Now, the problem with the whole internet tying into this is, number one, this is not my day job. My day job is I've got several day jobs actually. I've got writing, which doesn't really bring in a whole lot. I've got I do property management, and actually I've got all that kind of squared away. I've got somebody taking care of everything I need to do on the property management for now. But then I've got freelance work, and I do freelance work online, coding, writing, that sort of thing. The general make busy stuff. And when your primary work, your primary income source relies on the internet being up, then it not being up can be a real fucking problem. So the time I would have usually spent to edit videos and get them up, I instead spent either finding workarounds for getting my other work up without internet access, which usually meant driving across town to those clients who I have in town, or basically being on the phone with tech support and or showing techs around and or replacing crap, which is where a lot of my hours the last week went. So that was probably way more information than my viewers really wanted or need to know. It's just a glimpse into my life here. But yeah, that really kind of impacted how much time I had to spend on the actual editing and getting the episodes up and running and so on and so forth. Another thing it impacted was the fact that I couldn't stream. When you wake up and you're ready to stream, ready to go, you go, okay, I got my Planescape up and running, I got my new graphics up I got my next episode all laid out for Planescape. Let me fire up my Planescape, hop online, and connection not found. Fuck. So I was actually intending to get a lot more Planescape streaming up to help meet that 2 videos a day thing, and it just didn't happen because my internet was not cooperating. So that's where I am on that. Hopefully, going forward, now that my internet's stable, we're going to see me kick back up to 2 episodes a day. It may take me a couple days. It may take me, wow, hell, it's like Thursday today, isn't it? It may take me the rest of the damn week to get that situated up. It should be like, because Thursday and Friday. Friday I'll have Indie Game Friday and something else up. And then the weekends I spend recording. So I'm going to go ahead and get back into the swing of things early next week, I guess. So we'll start seeing 2 videos a day back early up in next week. And they may not be long episodes. They may be like an indie quick and some Let's Plays. I also kind of want to get out of the habit of doing the whole 1 week. I'm doing 2 Let's Plays at once, and I'd like to intersperse them a bit more. Right now it's been like 1 week Oblivion, 1 week Baldur's Gate 2. 1 week Oblivion, 1 week Baldur's Gate 2, and that's going to take a little bit longer than I would like, because I got a bunch of stuff that I've queued up that I really want to play. So I'm going to try and intersperse them a bit more. So, there is that. Yeah, channel logistics aside, whoa, I said channel logistics aside, and then I'm about to mention another channel logistics. I need new graphics. I'm going to go ahead and try and get a new banner together and a new, like a generic channel intro. I don't know. If you guys like that sort of thing, let me know in the comments. I'm like neither here nor there, or channel intros. I know my channel outro needs work, and one of the things it does is that I've got the end of each video. I've got like a outro that just pops up, the starting points of other Let's Plays, and then a subscribe button. And it was pretty, it's suggested to be very useful for growing your channel, but I'm not seeing very many click-throughs on it. And then, because it takes a little bit of time to put up, I tend to put them off and try and do like 4 or 5 at once. And then when I do 4 or 5 at once, I'm sitting there, I don't feel like doing 4 or 5 at once, and it kind of snowballs, and I end up doing a month worth of annotations at the end, at the end of the month. But even when I do them like on the spot, I don't see that many click-throughs on them. So is the outro even really worth it? I mean, or maybe I should modify the nature of the outro. I know that I'm not doing outros on my Tabletops and Taverns or my Indie Quicks or my Indie Game Fridays anymore. And they're doing just fine. So I don't know. Maybe I need a new, an entirely new graphics. I know I need a new banner. That banner was set up. I spent like maybe 15, 20 minutes on it in Fireworks like a year and a half ago. I need to get a really nice banner set up, and so expect to see one of those. Oh, let's see what else is going on. I have plans to run Curse of Strahd when it comes out in March, and so you should be able to see more tabletop style role playing stuff, specifically a Curse of Strahd campaign done over YouTube or done over like Roll20 and then posted to YouTube. So I'm looking forward to that. I've even got my players lined up like for real this time, and even if I only get like 2 players, I'm gonna go ahead with it anyway. Let's see. RPG news has been slow lately, and there have been a couple announcements in terms of RPG news, but I really didn't have enough material for an RPG news post in and of itself. Final Fantasy IX on Android. I've seen the visuals on that, and they look They look beautiful. They look better than the original Final Fantasy IX did on the PlayStation 1. But I couldn't really make an entire video just on that. I have mentioned that it was coming out, and the redo of Final Fantasy IX. There's that Tales debacle that happened lately, and I really didn't have enough information to do that. That hasn't been covered by anybody, like everybody else in role-playing game news. Yeah, I should have jumped on the bandwagon of that, but I haven't played the Tales series. Go ahead and crucify me, but I haven't. I've looked at them. The problem with being into role-playing games is that, generally speaking, role-playing games take a long time to finish. So even if you're playing them constantly, it takes a pretty hardcore schedule to actually get through every role-playing game that ever comes out. And yeah, it's beyond my abilities right now. So I take what I can, and I try and make them interesting. There was a death in the gaming art world. Mr. England recently passed away. He did work with Warhammer. He did work with Magic the Gathering. He did work with 5th edition D&D. Passed away recently, and that's I guess that's newsworthy. But at the same time, again, I couldn't really make an entire video on it, so I'm basically tabbing it at the end of a channel update. But a lot of the greats have been dying in recent years. I don't necessarily know if he was a great, but he did like if you got your 5th edition books, like the background, like where there's items and stuff strewn on the background, that's the kind of thing that he did for 5th edition, and he contributed to a lot more older RPGs before that. So there is that. And then there was the announcement of Paizo's Horror Adventures. Kind of like their Occult Adventures. It's going to be a book basically on horror adventures. I'm assuming there's going to be like in the Occult Adventures book, there's maybe like classes and spells and so on and so forth, and various rule sets. It's coming out this summer, and the announcement was I think the beginning of this week. And I thought, I can do a whole news post on that, or I can do a Tabletops and Taverns on horror gaming, because there is the Curse of Strahd coming out. And so, yeah, I'm going to spoil this. The next Tabletops and Taverns that I put together is going to be on horror in tabletop gaming. So that's gonna be an interesting one to do. It's going to be a lot of work to do, but I think it's worthwhile. Wow, this vlog is stretching on. I really didn't mean to keep you guys so much. If you like what I've been doing, this is the place for those of you who haven't seen my previous channel updates. Here's a place where I take a lot of feedback in terms of developing the channel for future, going forward. I do love to hear from my viewers, and I have implemented quite a few of their suggestions into my channel in the past. Not that I've been getting a huge amount of suggestions. So yeah, if you have any feedback on my channel at all, even if it's just to say you suck, go ahead and pop it in the description, or pop it in the comments below, and I'll take a look at them. Those of you who comment regularly on my videos, and there's a couple of you out there, appreciate the interaction, and you know that I try to interact with every comment that I possibly can some way. Oh, it was so embarrassing. There was one comment that I absolutely could not interact with a while back, and I felt bad because I kept trying to answer and it kept going off into the ether. And I feel like it turned out to be a link comment, and I'm not sure how those will work. so, I hope that I did not flood that guy's that guy's inbox with a bunch of comments. But yeah, I do try to interact with every comment, either giving it a like if I like it, or making my appropriate response. Take time to do it, and do it well. And for those trolling comments, if they're amusing, I'll leave them up. I mean, I gotta admit, I've been trolled pretty bad before, not on this particular channel, but on other instances of the internet. I can appreciate a good troll, but if they're just kind of being ugly, then I'm just not going to interact with them. But there it is. There it is. That's what's going on with me. What's going on with the channel. If this is going to be a little bit of a longer channel update than usual, just because I've been rambling so much. As always, if you like what you've seen, remember to like. As I said, leave a comment if you got any feedback on anything I've been doing whatsoever, and subscribe for more RPG content. Until next time, take care and goodbye.